Hey, welcome to Pro Tech Coach. Today we're going to revisit the Drobo installation here at my place. And specifically, we're going to talk about how to set this up to use the built-in Plex media server that's in Drobo, or that is one of the apps that Drobo ships with. So let's start with the Drobo dashboard. I got to that from this little Drobo Manager app, dashboard app that installs on your PC. You can install that on any or all of the PCs in your house to access as you wish. When you fire it up, you can see you got your Drobo unit there. If you have multiple Drobos, they'll show up here on the dashboard. And you could do all kinds of different things as far as managing your Drobo. The main thing we want to do today is look at the Drobo app, as I said, for the Plex media server. So let's look at the Drobo apps. And you'll be able to see here that there are quite a few apps now available for the Drobo. When I first got it, there were only two apps that were available on the 5N, and that was this copy.com, which is kind of like a Dropbox service, and the Plex, which, as you can see now, there's lots more different services available, and they're adding some all the time, so that's great. So we want to you install the Plex. As you can see here, if I want to install something else, there's a simple little install button. It walks you through the process of installing the software. It's very straightforward, built in. Basically, hit install and then answer a couple of questions as you go. I've already installed the Plex, so we'll talk a little bit about configuring. But before we do that, one of the things that you need to be aware of when you're configuring the Plex server is for playing your media. So we're talking about movies, music, pictures, TV shows, whatever it is that you've got ripped to your server. You'll need to understand a little bit about shares, and this is something that you will have done early when you set up your Drobo, is to set up shares. What are shares? Well, shares, if you want to think about it, are kind of like basically root directories for filing your different files onto your Drobo server. So in this case, you can see I've got a video share already. I've got share for my PC backups, for music. I've got some personal shares for people as well, photos. The reason I want to talk a little bit about shares is because when you go to set up we go to configure the Plex media server, it's going to ask you to pick a share and a folder then of where your media is. So it's important to understand a little bit about how that ties together. So setting up a share is pretty straightforward. I've already got some set up. You can see my Drobo 5 here is set up on my network already as a device. If I go in there, these are the shares that I have set up, and you'll see here that they correspond to the shares that are over here. So I've got a music share, there's a music folder. I've got a video share, there's a video folder. And within the video folder, I've already divvied my media up into a movies folder, music video, TV, and some other videos as well. So it's very straightforward to set up a share. You go into share settings. You can create a new share. So if I wanted to make a specific share, let's just call it new vid for now, just to show you how simple this is. Now let's watch this screen over here when I say OK. And then you can map as to who can see what of the share. So who has access? Do you want everyone on the network to have read and write access, or do you want only people to have read while some other have read and write? And you can control that by search by user. I won't get too much into depth right now, but right now you can see that everyone has read-only access to this share. And I'm going to say OK, and we should see new vid show up over here. See if I can force the issue. There we go. There's the new vid share. And then I could put my movies, my TV shows, whatever, over into the new vid. But I've already done that because I've already got a video sharing or a video share set up. So for that part, that's all that's how that maps together. So I just wanted to remove any confusion there might be on that. Let's go back to the Drobo app. Let's go into Plex. Let's configure Plex. And you can see here that by hitting that, it's going to go ahead and open up my default browser. It's going to take me to where the Plex server configuration screen is, and it's all done through a browser, so it's really very nice and simple and straightforward. One thing I would counsel you on is, as you can see here, that it's using the IP address on my network for where the Drobo is. I would go ahead, if you're going to use bookmarks and try and maintain your own sanity here, is to go ahead and tell your router to assign the Drobo a fixed IP address. So my Drobo is always at this IP address. So when I created a bookmark here and shared it, so I share my bookmarks in Chrome, I don't have to wonder after any kind of a network restart where the Drobo is and is my bookmark now broken. So once you map that IP address to be fixed, it'll be there forever after. But you can always come back to the Plex, hit the configure, and it will open the default browser and take you right to it. All right. Anyway, if we were going to set up a new, as you can see here, I've already got a Drobo 5N TV shows area set up. But if I was going to set one up from scratch, they're called sections. So each of these items here in the library is called a section. So I can just come up here and say, okay, for my Drobo 5N, I want to set up a new, let's call it Home Movies maybe. And then Home Movies is going to be the name. I can rename it if I want. We can call it Not Really Home Movies, because I'm not going to keep this around. And then I'm going to add a folder. And you can see here, what does it pull up by default? It's going to pull up the shares. That's why we talked about the shares a minute ago. So if you can see here, I've got the new vid share. In this case, it would be, if I was going to map this to a real place, be videos for TV. And then I go ahead and say add. And then when I hit save, it's going to go ahead and begin to gather all of the media out of that, out of this directory that I've just selected, and begin to build out my my playlist. It'll go out to the internet and gather all kinds of data about each of the shows. It'll grab media information about, first broadcast date. It'll put up pictures of what all is going on. I'll go ahead and show you that here. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got the TV shows up and running. So let's see. Let's go see what's going on with the Dresden Files. Now, I didn't have to go get any of this art. Or any of this information. It went out and used a database that it's connected to out over the internet. It went and scanned all the files, read all of the information from them, and then went and grabbed the art. I can still go ahead and edit any of this art if I wanted to change it. I can go ahead and do that. I can go ahead and change the poster. I can change the banner. You can see it's got a little background graphic here behind. You can change what that looks like. It's all pretty straightforward. If you've got a URL to a picture you'd rather have in place, you can do that. You can put your own in. But most of it's kind of fire and forget. It just went and gathered all this data all by itself. I didn't have to do anything about it. And it just it runs like a champ. So this is the browser version. I know someone had asked, is this going to work with my Xbox or PS4 or 3 or whatever else you've got running in your house? And the great news to that is, yes, it definitely will. I've got some screenshots here for from my 360. I simply go to my 360. I fired up the system video player. It's asking for the source, the Drobo 5N Plex media server just showed up because I had already installed it. It's already broadcasting itself, available via DLNA. If you know what that is, it's just a nice little standard. If you don't know what it is, don't worry about it. It should just show up and be there automatically, as it has been for both of my Xboxes and my PS3. And then it comes up and gives you a different set of folders that it's built. Shared video, TV shows, video channels. There's more items down there recently added, watched, unwatched. In this particular case, I'm going to go down here to TV shows. And then within TV shows, I can look at it by folder and then pick a show that I want to watch. In this case, the Great War, BBC documentary on the First World War. And you can see here it's gone ahead and grabbed a still picture out of the video. It's showing me the episode number, how long they are, and a larger thumbnail over here. And then you just choose play, and you're off and running on your Xbox 360. And for the most part, it has been completely reliable, easy to configure and play with, customizable. Yes, you can also set this up so that you may access your movie files from anywhere on the internet. You can sign up for a Plex account, which gives you all kinds of special capabilities with your mobile devices so that you can stream videos to wherever you want to go in the world. It's very reasonable price. I think it was $25 or something for the year, which I went ahead and set up. I'm not really using any of that functionality. Mostly I just want to watch my videos from wherever I am in the house on any of my devices, and this works great. They also have recently added an app for the Chromecast. So if you haven't seen my Chromecast video, go hit protechcoach.com and look up the Chromecast review, and I'll be setting that up here shortly. I haven't had a chance to play with that yet. But anyway, I'm still very happy with the Drobo. It's enabling me to do all kinds of things aside from just the massive storage with RAID backup protections that it's got. And anyway, I think you will be very happy with your purchase, and I recommend the Drobo and using the Plex media server with it. Hope that's been of help. This is the Pro Tech Coach signing off. Take care.